Hey guys, what is going on? It is Ando, and thank you for coming out to this video. So today's video is going to be about Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes, and I like making useful and helpful content for Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes. So one of the ways that I know if it's good and helpful is by if you guys hit that thumbs up button. So if you guys do find this helpful, make sure you guys hit the thumbs up button. And it does also tell me that 73% of you guys have not subscribed to the channel. I would really greatly appreciate if you guys hit that subscribe button as well. Definitely helps us out, and it's going to get us to our goal of 1,000 subscribers. So thank you guys for those that have liked and those that do subscribe. I do truly appreciate it. So let's go ahead and get into the video. This is going to be one of the biggest mistakes that I see in Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes. I do get, I think, a little bit more of a broader perspective than most people, just because I am a streamer. I do try and help out as much as possible from content creation standpoint. So I get to see a lot of different accounts. Now, is it every single one? Is this, every single person makes this mistake? Absolutely not. But the mistake that we're going to talk about today is defense mods, right? So let's just go ahead and get right into this video. All right, again, one of the biggest mistakes I see in Star Wars Galaxy Hero, and again, I'm just going to kind of reiterate, I am a streamer. I try to do roster reviews like whenever possible. So I do feel like I get a decent grasp on what is happening for the most part. So this is an interesting take. And again, we're going to kind of get into it. And of course, it wouldn't be one of the awesome videos of mine if we weren't using the most high-tech and advanced piece of technology out there, aka Microsoft PowerPoint. All right, so lack of defense mods, why, right? Like there seems to be a lack of defense mods. So why is this happening? Well, of course, speed, baby, right? Like everyone wants to get speed sets, everyone wants to get crit damage sets, and everyone wants to get offense sets. And I'm not saying that that's wrong. Those sets need 4 pieces to make the actual full set. So it makes sense that like all those are primary kind of, like that's going to be where your primary effort is. Also, let's be honest, speed is pretty much the king of the game. And everyone likes seeing big numbers, right? And I'm right there with you guys. I love seeing big numbers. So everyone wants to get, these awesome crit damage and offense sets where you're getting 25 plus speed with 6.5% offense on there and all this other stuff. So those make sense, right? Like that's going to be predominantly where everyone's effort is. Okay, got it. But the others, right? Okay, so health sets come in through assault battles, through the mod challenges that we get I think it's every other week, or maybe it's weekly, I don't even know. The scoundrel one. And so, okay, so health is kind of spoken for. I think a lot of people will eventually, just kind of going down to the next bullet point. There's kits that also have specific callouts for health, health builds. So I think that is kind of spoken for as well. Now, then you kind of get into tenacity and potency, right? There's, tenacity down and potency up, and characters again have specific call outs to, hey, this leadership gives you potency, this leadership gives you tenacity. And so people kind of know, like, hey, like, get a few of those as well. But there's no real specific kit call out to defense, right? And of course, again, defense, it doesn't give you big numbers, right? If some kit comes out tomorrow that says, hey, for the percentage defense that this character has, you also are going to give that kit, or that character percent offense for how much percent defense he has, I guarantee you everyone will be trying to stack some defense on that character, right? But there's just not really a character that's like that. And again, it's hard to see because you don't really get the satisfaction of seeing a big number. Or it would be interesting and probably more satisfying if you saw how much damage you reduced, right? Based off of their hit. But again, you don't get to see that stuff. It's all kind of working behind the scenes. So that kind of explains, I think, maybe why we see lack of defense. Also, I think that just generally people just don't know what defense does. So let's go ahead and talk about what does defense do. And this is an oversimplified version. There's plenty of YouTube videos and like Excel spreadsheets that will like pinpoint exactly what defense does. Okay, so oversimplified version, increases your armor percentage, which then decreases your opponent damage. Okay, so simple enough, right? So the issue that a lot of people had with defense before is that there were quite a bit of characters that ignore defense, or have a truly significant amount of defense penetration, right? So the solution kind of was the great nerfing of, as people have coined it, of 2021. This is a thing that is still being kind of felt right now. This video is like less than a week from it happening to us, and yeah, like we probably don't have all the consequences from it yet. Like, we don't know what we don't know yet because we just haven't tested certain guys without, you know, with all this stuff. But you know, what I can tell right now is that it is being felt with the characters that they nerfed. So the characters like Gas and JKL not being able to ignore defense, Vader getting a rework, his damage overall is less than it used to be, but a lot of that has to do with the other nerf that happened, which was Watt. Now people have kind of coined Vought because Vader Watt, like, it was just a thing. People didn't really need to understand why their Vader was just absolutely murdering Geonosians with Watt Tambor in there. They just saw like, hey, a basic kills like relic Geos, and yeah, that's all I need to know. Like, they didn't really get, no one really cared about the fact that you were ignoring defense. So again, a lot of this stuff was because of ignoring defense. So that's kind of the solution of like, hey, what the issue for that was the great nerfing. So is it the future? Is defense mods the future? Maybe. I don't know. I will say this. Everything that CG always does seems to work with like the all true seeing eye that is what is going to eventually happen in the game, right? I don't know, trying to think of like some examples. They used to call it nesting back when CG Carry was here, but they still continue on, right? They release a character like Shock T, and it's like, cool, great, clones are still kind of garbage, and then 501st gets a rework, and all of a sudden clones are super OP, and then, you know, Gas comes out, and she was needed for that as well. So it's just like kind of an example, right? Another one that probably is more pertinent is Mods 2.0 comes out, and I mean, nobody in their right mind was using health percentage primary, right? Like, if you'd be crazy. It was 5.88% health percent primary, and it was 23.5% protection primary. All of a sudden Mods 2.0 comes out, and health gets this big increase. It gets all the way up to 16%, while protection goes up to 24%. So there's a half percentage that it increased. So, and then stack onto the fact that 2 maybe 3 months after that, you know, Mods 2.0, we start getting kits that are based off of health, right? Grievous, Padme. There's definitely other guys that fit into that mold. So again, we don't really get to see this happening in our current situation potentially. And then they also talked about Relic 9. Relic 9 being something that they want to increase survivability on. We don't know if the armor is the exact pinpoint of what they're going to do. We don't know if it's just a combination of survivability, whether it's armor, health percentage, protection percentage, etc. We don't know yet what we don't know, but again, it could be the future, or it could be a decent future, I guess. Okay, so you're probably saying, okay, but who can actually use defense mods? Okay, all right, so fair enough. This is a screenshot of my 7.8 million GP account, that is organized by the highest power characters that I have, minus my Galactic Legends. So some of these are characters that were basically told to me. Some of these characters were told to me and they're good, and some of these characters are just good, and so therefore I upgraded them. So again, maybe not the best, indication about what is needed for defense mods, but again, a lot of these guys, either they were requirements or they hit hard, or they were both. And because I'm a sucker just like everybody else and I want to see big numbers, I was like, yes, I'm absolutely going to upgrade this character up this high because I want to see his numbers be really awesome. So who can in this picture argue, like have at least an argument about why you would want a defense set, at least one defense set? All right, so here's the next one, right? Everyone with the red box around it, I think like you can make a legitimate argument as to why you should want a defense set, especially General Skywalker. Even before his buff slash nerf, I was running him with a defense set. Like it was a good practice, honestly. I had good defense mods and therefore I used them. Kylo Ren Unmasked, I will say this, I personally run a full like health build on him, but I will say also too, it won't help you if you're just trying to run him in with the SLKR or whatever team. But if you are running him as a lead, a lot of the things that I try to do, I like to do Geos versus crew, and that with his crit avoidant arrow and at least one defense set makes him that's the closest that I've ever been to timing out on that team with Geos. Like it just nerfs spies damage way too much and it becomes really sketchy. Fives is one of those guys where I think you could make an argument that he needs 3 sets of defense, just because he becomes so incredibly tanky with the armor sets. General Kenobi, I know a lot of people like to stack health on him as well due to the Padme lead, and yes, nowadays with General Kenobi just being the sacrificial lamb for the opponent's commander Ahsoka Tano, maybe the defense set wouldn't really help you there at all, but ultimately, like I think he's a character that I think can use a defense set and benefit quite a bit from him. And CLS, if you guys haven't watched some of my streams, for the past few seasons I've been running Imperial Troopers against CLS for the 3v3 version, and one of the times that I did not fully kill CLS and I didn't check mods was when a guy just had a defense build on his CLS. Like it was incredibly tanky. Like that damage that my Dark Trooper was supposed to do just did not happen, and we still ended up winning, so I can't say that it was like the most effective thing in the world, but it did definitely cause me a scare. So just another thing for you guys to think about. So you're probably like, yeah, but who else, right? Like, okay, so you can find some characters, right? But there's many others, right? Bosk, Chupio, Holdo, L337, Faust, IG-100, Scion. And again, we don't have the full scope about what is actually happening. We don't know, again, what's going to happen with Relic 9, who might additionally want it in the future. But again, because again, I'll say again, like the health mod, I can't stress this enough. No one was running health mods before the mods 2.0. It just didn't make any sense. You wanted to just stack the protection on where you could, and yeah, health was going to be kind of on the back burner. So we don't know exactly what's going to happen. We don't know when we get 7.0 mod or the 7 dot mods, what's going to happen with defense percentage. And I'm not claiming that it's going to make defense the best stat ever, but it is certainly a useful one for sure. And there are plenty of characters that can use it. So the question now that you guys are probably asking is, and let me move my camera up because obviously you guys probably want to read some of this. So do you need to farm defense sets, right? That should be the question now. And I say yes. Well, maybe. Like if you are in a spot where you're close to relics, or if you're knee deep in relics, it would most likely benefit you to already have some defense sets ready to go. So if you are in that category where you are getting close to relics or Gear 13 characters, because Gear 13 truly does change a lot of characters, and the defense modifier, I think, starts to benefit a lot of these characters. But if you have characters listed in this video, and especially the one with all that's going on, to re-look into some of the character modding, right? I'm not saying you have to do it, and I certainly am not saying that if you have no defense sets, but you have like one that you got from like a challenge tier on the Galactic Legend or the Galactic Challenges, right? To just throw one arbitrarily on because I made a video about it. They obviously still need to be high quality, and you need to farm for them, and you need to try to find those good ones from there. And the way you do that is to know some of the characters that would need it, and try to find those secondary stats in there that would highlight the character's core competencies, right? If a character needs to remain debuffed, then you're looking for a defense set with tenacity. If a character doesn't need to be fast but needs to be extremely tanky with protection, right, you're looking for protection primary, or not primary, but maybe a secondary or something like that. So all these things to say that, like, hey, don't just put crappy defense mods on and expect like it to change everything, but it does help overall. All right, so next thing, in conclusion, defense sets are actually useful, contrary to popular belief. I think, again, some of that is due to just not knowing or whatever it is. And you should farm some defense sets because you will use them. Again, I get it. It shouldn't be your primary concern. It shouldn't be like replacing speed days or your offense days or crit damage days. But whenever you have some extra energy, for sure, you know, get some defense set farming in. And last but not least, guys, thank you guys for watching. Again, if you guys find this helpful, be sure to hit that thumbs up button, as it definitely helps this video get out into the algorithm. And I want this video to help people and get the word out because although there's been plenty of videos made about defense sets, it never hurts to continue to reach out to the newer players or people that those videos didn't reach to. So yeah, guys, I appreciate all your guys' support, and we'll see you guys in the next one.